In the vast, unforgiving desert, a nation walked on the edge of hope. Thousands of Israelites, finally free from centuries of bondage, journeyed toward a promise. But their freedom was fragile. Behind them, a cloud of dust billowed into the sky, a storm of vengeance gathering on the horizon. Pharaoh's army, a terrifying force of iron and fury, was closing in. The thunder of hooves and the rumble of chariot wheels was the sound of their past refusing to let them go. They were trapped. Before them lay the vast, impassable expanse of the Red Sea. Behind them, the might of the Egyptian empire, hungry for their return to chains. The sun bled into the horizon, casting along desperate shadows. As night fell, so did their spirits. The air filled with the cries of frightened children and the laments of the hopeless. Fear was a cold wave washing over them, more chilling than the sea spray on their faces. They were caught between an army and an ocean with nowhere to turn. It was a moment of absolute despair. But in the midst of the chaos, one man stood firm. Moses, their leader, his face etched with conviction, raised his staff toward the churning waters. He was not looking at the army, nor at the sea. He was looking to their God, a powerful hook amidst the despair, a voice that seemed to rise above the wind. They were trapped between an army and an ocean, until God made a way where there was no way. This was not the end of their story. It was the beginning of a miracle. As Moses held his staff high, a mighty wind began to roar from the east. It was a wind that carried not just sand, but power. The sky, once clear and starry, was now a canvas of dramatic flashing lightning. The sea itself began to churn and groan, heaving as if in pain. The people watched, their fear turning to stunned silence. Something impossible was happening. Slowly, impossibly, the waters of the Red Sea began to part. It wasn't a gentle separation, but a majestic tearing apart of nature itself. Two towering walls of water rose into the night sky, glowing with an ethereal blue light. The very fabric of reality seemed to bend to a divine command. And there, where moments before were crashing waves, a path appeared. A wide, dry path on the ocean floor, a highway through the heart of the sea. A pillar of fire descended from the heavens, lighting their way with a divine glow. The words of God echoed in their hearts, a promise whispered on the wind. Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. With newfound courage, the Israelites began to walk. Families stepped onto the dry seabed, their feet treading on ground no human had ever touched. Children held their parents' hands, their eyes wide with wonder, not fear. Elders, leaning on their staffs, walked with a strength they hadn't felt in years. Beside them, through the translucent walls of water, they could see fish swimming peacefully, witnesses to the impossible. Their awe was short-lived. Pharaoh's army, blinded by rage, charged into the pathway. They saw not a miracle, but a trap for their prey. The chariots thundered down the sea-carved canyon, their pursuit relentless, but their arrogance was their undoing. As the last Israelite stepped safely onto the far shore, Moses, at God's command, once again stretched his hand over the sea. With a cataclysmic roar, the walls of water collapsed. The sea, held back by a miracle, returned to its natural state with furious, unstoppable force. A thunderous wave crashed down upon the Egyptian army, a wave of divine victory and finality. The chariots, the horses, and the pride of an empire were swallowed by the depths. The Red Sea, once their barrier, had become their salvation. As the sun began to rise, a new dawn broke not just over the horizon, but in the hearts of the people. On the far shore, they were truly free. Cries of fear were replaced with songs of joy and celebration. They danced and praised, their faces lit by the golden morning light. Moses stood among them, his staff raised, not in defiance, but in worship. The light shone across the now calm sea, a silent testament to the power they had witnessed. Their journey was far from over, but they had learned a lesson that would sustain them through every trial to come. When God leads you, even the sea must move. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.